Hello, HRSM family. I'm here with Coach Ray Tanner. Coach, one of the emphasis our new interim dean, David Cardenas, has is on building teamwork in our HRSM college. And so you've been around and constructed some high-functioning teams throughout your career. Just share, as we begin, just some of your general thoughts on what are the characteristics of high-functioning teams.
Well, I think in the very beginning, you want people that are extremely qualified to handle the roles that they're put into. But, I go back to a very simple word, passion. That when you have people, whether they grow into jobs or you hire them, they bring passion to the position, the function that they have to perform on a daily basis. And it makes all the difference in the world because it's infectious in a positive way. They're going to do a good job, but they're going to make people around them better.
You've had an opportunity to hire a lot of people, in some cases fire people here. What are some of those, besides the passion, what are some specific characteristics you look for when you're building the network or the team that you've been able to put together?
I think one characteristic that is so important, especially with intercollegiate athletics, is selfless service. And when you think about athletics, you don't necessarily look to that. But you know what? We're here because of student athletes. We don't have jobs if they're not here. We're here to serve them. I tell my staff all the time, student athletes are number one. Coaches are number two. The rest of us are here to serve. And if they have that mentality, it's important because they're here. We're not here for us. We're here for them. And we need to do everything we can on a daily basis, whether it's nutrition, whether it's a facility, whether it's travel, and you can go on, that we dedicate ourselves providing a great environment for their success.
That's a great point because sometimes we as faculty, as staff, we get frustrated with our young people, and we have to be reminded they're not an inconvenience. They are the reason that we are here and to serve them. We have some amazing people in our college, and I know we've had some tremendous athletes, some tremendous coaches, Coach Staley, who's won a gold medal, and all of her accomplishments. How do you, with the people who are those high-performing people who are getting sometimes a lot of publicity maybe in our college, how can we help everybody understand that it is a team effort? We have the faculty, we have advisement, we have, everyone has to work together to make it all work.
They count. If you're on the team, you count. Whether, you mentioned Coach Staley, she's winning, she's 21 medals in her career, just won another gold in Tokyo, and the great athletes, they're on a platform. But how about the people that nobody knows their name that gets to feel a part of the team? I think it's important that you do that. One of my favorite things I did in my coaching career is when I was back on the baseball field years ago, I'd get out early before the team got out on the field for warm-ups. Whether it was practice or a game, I'd get a chance to visit with our operations staff and our grounds crew and get a chance to just mingle. I might even pick up a rake or something once in a while, but I get a chance to visit with them and tell them what a great job they're doing and just talk about life in general. And they knew that they were part of what we were doing, and that was a big deal to them. And I learned that. Don't just have expectations that they're here, they're going to do a great job. They want to be a part of things as well, and it's important to make sure they're included.
Right. And, I know with Coach Staley, she's a cheerleader for all of the other sports. She goes to some of the sports that we don't normally think about, and you'll see her tweeting about the volleyball or softball or whatever. So I think that's important, too, that even the superstars, so to speak, have an appreciation for some of those departments or some of those sports that might not be getting the recognition that she obviously gets.
You are correct, and she's great. I think that sometimes she is more vocal, maybe even louder at the other sports than she is in her own gym. But that's I think that just makes things great. People feel like you're joined together. You have a common goal, and I think it's great to have it that way. It's not perfect, but when you're in a classroom or you're in a department or you're on a team, everybody counts. Everybody's got to have a hand in what's going on, and you win together and you lose together.
Amen. So one of my new roles is Assistant Dean for Diversity and Inclusion. And so if you could speak a little bit about having a diverse team as you look at high-functioning teams, what it and how it is important that we have different viewpoints and different people, and the spectrum that creates a high-functioning team.
Well, I think that you use the word diversity. To me, if you're diverse on a team, in an organization, in a department, on campus, you're stronger. You have people with strengths, you have people with weaknesses. And those people with weaknesses, you got those other people that have the strengths, and vice versa. It's like in my previous life as a baseball guy, you can have a power hitting team. They all hit home runs. They can't do anything else. They can't run. They can't play defense. They're one-dimensional.
Right.
Well, if you're not diverse, you're one-dimensional. And I think by having a diverse organization, you got all kinds of strengths. And you can draw from each other. You can help each other. And you can understand the dynamics of an organization if you do have that diversity. You get people pulling in the right direction with a diverse group, you're strong.
Yeah. That's great. Do you have any examples, Coach, in all your career, maybe when you even, not even here at the university, but do you have any examples of people who were great teammates and some of the things they might have done where you were like, man, that really helped the team grow?
There have been a lot of those, I think, in different examples. But thinking about it, what we've been through in the last couple of years, and we're sort of back in it a little bit now. What we went through in the middle of COVID with, like, our director of sports medicine is John Kasich.
Yep.
And all of our trainers, that's all they did around the clock. We were testing, we were getting samples, they were servicing our staff, they were servicing our student athletes, tireless workers. I mean, we would go get tested and it would take us a couple minutes, right? They were working around the clock. That wasn't in their job description to do COVID testing and taking samples and all the work and time and commitments with the student athletes. So that's the unsung heroes that I recognized later, that the amount of time that they put in and never, they just jumped in and tackled it and dedicated themselves to trying to make our department healthy and safe. To me, that's those people, and we have recognized them, but they were people that jumped out at me of what their dedication to our department here at the University of South Carolina.
Yeah, and that is a tribute to us that we didn't lose hardly any athletic contests because our people were able to stay healthy.
Correct.
So yeah, we talk about those unsung heroes and a lot of people that don't get recognized but are willing to do whatever it takes. So any closing thoughts you have just on teams or anything else you want to share with our family?
Well, I got, a lot of experience in college athletics, being a great player in my day. Don't Google that. It'll prove otherwise. But being a student athlete, then going to grad school, being an assistant coach, being a head coach, being in administration, you think about all the things you've been through. But at the end of the day, what does it all mean? And you use the word team. And you spell it with TEAM, which is together everyone accomplishes more. And that's just the way, it is. We can get caught up in our own little world, but we all know at the end of the day, you're not by yourself.
Right.
You're not going to succeed. You're not going to be Asia Wilson, but just Asia Wilson. She had a great family to help her get to where she is, a great coach in Dawn Staley, a platform here at the University of South Carolina. There's always other people, and that togetherness gives you a chance, gives you an opportunity. And that's has always been important to me, that, hey, we're going to do this together. We're going to pick each other up. We're going to be there for each other. We're going to have some good times too. Right. And when it's not good, we're still going to be the team.
Yeah. Well, Coach, thank you so much. I know a lot of us in the college get a chance to teach the student athletes, and we always appreciate the job that you and Maria Hickman do in holding your student athletes accountable. They show up for class, they're engaged, and so I do want to thank you for holding them accountable and making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to as student athletes.
Well, thank you, and I do appreciate you mentioning that, because we have performed very well academically as a student athlete population. That doesn't get recognized a lot because you go by the scores, so you go by wins and losses and what kind of game they had, but they're performing at a high level academically.
Yes.
And that's to their credit, to your credit, to the campus community, the deans, the professors, and everybody, that should get more attention than it does. But thank you, I appreciate that.
All right. Well, we've been here with Coach Ray Tanner today. Coach, thanks again for being with us.
Thank you.